Join us tonight as we blow the lid off the truth behind Pippa Middleton's crumbling fairy tale. For years, she was introduced as Kate's lively little sister, yet behind palace gates, her own marriage was unraveling in total silence. Pippa, famously guarded and impeccably poised, never spilled a secret, until whispers of a hush-hush divorce sent shockwaves through high society and forced her to reveal the bombshell cause herself. To see how this quiet catastrophe started, we must rewind to sleepy Bucklebury, Berkshire. Long before flashbulbs or crowns, Pippa led an ordinary village life alongside her big sister Catherine, known to the world today as Princess Kate. Even in primary school, Pippa refused to be the spare Middleton. She glowed without trying. Quick-witted, fearless, a spark in every room. Forget polished palaces. These sisters grew up over a converted barn, not behind gilded gates. Their parents, Michael and Carol, were airline staff who hustled their way into comfort by launching a mail-order party supply empire. No tiaras, no chauffeurs, no armed guards, just sensible uniforms, ski trips on a budget, and endless lessons in courtesy, humility, and work first. Brag never. Life shifted forever once Kate's romance with Prince William hit the tabloids. Curiosity exploded into obsession. Overnight, Pippa's face popped up everywhere, even though she'd done absolutely nothing except share DNA with the future queen. She could have melted into the background, except destiny had other plans. At the 2011 royal wedding, she slid from the limo in that curve-skimming ivory Alexander McQueen gown, and boom! The internet crowned a brand new it girl in real time. That single walk down Westminster Abbey's aisle triggered a frenzy, trending hashtags, breathless fashion think pieces, and more Google searches than any designer item that year. In 24 hours, Pippa morphed from anonymous party planner to international symbol of sleek allure, and life never tasted normal again. Fame barged in like an uninvited guest. Paparazzi camped outside her flat. Tabloids critiqued her Pilates pants. Bloggers tracked her latte order, and gossip pages dissected her friends. Appreciation? Sure. Yet the glare was brutal. Royals get training for that circus. Pippa had to improvise under 1,000 telephoto lenses. She mastered the tight-lipped smile, the three-word answer, the graceful retreat, but privacy became extinct. Then came the headline avalanche over her love life. Her steady romance with former cricketer Alex Loudon had been blissfully private, until cameras filmed their walks, their arguments, even their beach days. When that relationship imploded, the press swarmed harder. Any man spotted within 5 feet of Pippa was instantly branded future Mr. Middleton. The pressure was absurd. Enter Nico Jackson, the dashing stockbroker who dressed like Wall Street and holidayed like Monaco. Reporters cheered. At last, a power couple to rival Kate and William. Elegant red carpet photos soared, but chemistry behind the flashbulbs fizzled. Critics sensed it. Soon the fairy tale headlines collapsed. Love triangle narratives multiplied. Alex represented pre-royal normalcy. Nico symbolized glossy city ambition. And waiting in the wings was James Matthews. James wasn't dazzled by celebrity. He was a billionaire and casual loafers. They met at the Matthews family's swanky Eden Rock resort on St. Barth's, and his understated calm felt like a life raft. For Pippa, choosing James meant choosing peace, so she thought. Fast forward to 2016. Pippa and James went public, and tabloids lost their minds. Within a year came a £1.2 million countryside ceremony dripping in opulence. From that custom-lace Giles Deacon masterpiece to the mile-high peony arch framing their I do. The world hailed it an almost royal event. Inside, contradictions were already clashing. James, ex-race car driver turned hedge fund titan, worshipped discretion. His fortune grew from spreadsheets, not selfies. His ideal evening was a quiet candlelit supper, not the Met Gala. Pippa, forged in the spotlight, could navigate society galas blindfolded. Friends whispered they were two meteors on diverging trajectories sharing one postcode. Remember the white McQueen bridesmaid dress? A decade later, designers still name-check it. That fame opened doors. Pippa authored the lifestyle guide Celebrate, dabbled in luxury events, and tested brand ventures. Some flopped, some soared, but every attempt kept her in the news cycle. Visibility, however, comes with claws. Not long after Kate's wedding, rogue photographers snapped Pippa sunbathing in a bikini aboard a private family yacht. The scandal detonated. Tabloids splashed the shots, lawsuits flew, and although the Middletons won, Pippa absorbed the violation. She confessed the incident haunted her for years, even as she glittered at charity galas pretending nothing hurt. By the time she married James, surface glamour sparkled, yet microscopic cracks spread beneath. Their £17 million West London townhouse gleamed, but harmony dimmed. James loathed cameras on the doorstep, so Pippa initially retreated. Fewer interviews, muted outfits, a whisper instead of a roar. That restraint didn't last. Soon she returned to front rows and street-style spreads, while James vanished into golf clubs and hushed boardrooms. Two separate calendars emerged. Wimbledon center court for her, anonymous woodland jogs for him. Paparazzi noticed the absence of couple shots, and fashion insiders clocked her wardrobe shift. Bold prints swapped for beige, vibrant heels traded for sensible flats. Some called it maturity, others smelled melancholy. Publicly, she never addressed the tonal change, but body language screamed louder than any tabloid exclusive. No cheating scandals, no plate-throwing rows, just a growing rift powered by incompatible lifestyles. Pippa thrived where cameras flashed. James found oxygen in silence. Each compromise felt like a sacrifice neither could sustain. Friends whispered of separate exits after charity dinners and awkward holidays on opposing continents. Interviews grew cagey. Pippa pivoted to safe topics, leaving listeners certain something was amiss. The divide wasn't just social, it was spiritual. Behind elegant townhouse curtains, they repeated the same plea. She urged, "Join me." He sighed, "Let's stay home." No slammed doors, just emotional dust collecting in corners. As seasons passed, their joint photographs almost vanished. Wardrobes dimmed, jewel tones out, oatmeal knits in, and fans who once praised her sparkle worried she looked subdued. She adored James but couldn't bury her extroverted heart. He adored her yet feared flashbulbs like poison. By late 2019, they arrived at events in separate cars and left the same way. Lockdown masked the split yet magnified it. Pippa live-streamed workouts. James buried himself in spreadsheets. Photographers later caught forced smiles, eyes on exits. Stylists noted joyful hats replaced by sensible headbands, mourning in neutral hues. The root clash was simple. She thrived on expression, he thrived on invisibility. Even their art changed. Her bright canvases swapped for muted landscapes James loved. Home felt like no man's land. Early 2023 divorce rumors roared, yet no legal papers leaked. Silence boomed louder than any press release. Pippa juggled 3 toddlers and public duty, often sans wedding band. James withdrew deeper. Golf scores soared, birthdays missed. When cornered, he murmured, "All good, thanks." Few believed him. Tension spiked when Vogue Williams, married to James's brother Spencer, dropped podcast zingers about royal-adjacent perfection. Fans decoded the shade. Spencer and Vogue loved the publicity. Pippa's feed stayed strictly curated, control slipping as rival headlines multiplied. Still, she refused mudslinging. She poured energy into motherhood and literacy campaigns, showing softer smiles yet unbroken resolve. Late 2024, she arrived solo at a London gala in a flowing navy column dress. Statuesque, free. Asked about James, she pivoted to the charity. That graceful sidestep told the story. But let's not forget the human stakes. Arthur, Grace, and little Rose briefly glued the couple with midnight feedings and christening smiles. Yet the very duties meant to unite them exposed deeper divides. Pippa happily posed for maternity fitness columns. James gritted his teeth at every photo op. Grandparent dynamics added strain. Middletons welcomed cameras. Matthews preferred privacy. Even grocery runs exposed incompatibility. Spot Pippa jogging Chelsea in neon trainers. Paparazzi sprint behind. Spot James? You won't. He exits before cameras boot up. Brand offers flooded her inbox, athleisure, cookbooks, wellness podcasts. James warned of overexposure. She felt suffocated. Counselors were tried, schedules reshuffled, yet mid-2024 farewell talks felt like cordial negotiations. Joint custody and a respectful press strategy were agreed. True to form, Pippa honored the pact. No revenge interviews, just a radiant appearance at a Children's Heart fundraiser where she declared, "The future feels bright." The audience erupted, sensing rebirth beneath the diplomacy. James retreated to the family's Glen Afric estate, devoting time to conservation hikes. Industry insiders now bet on her comeback. A children's fitness book, a sustainable party wear line echoing her parents' legacy, maybe a docuseries demystifying life on royalty's edge. One certainty, when Pippa re-emerges, she'll direct the spotlight instead of merely surviving it, and millions will tune in to watch her transform past turmoil into astonishing new momentum. So ends the saga of a woman thrust into global superstardom by one legendary gown who finally chose self-preservation over a marriage that clipped her wings. Whatever comes next, expect Pippa to script it on her own terms. Camera's optional. Few beyond the tightest Middleton circle understood that Pippa was locked in an invisible tug-of-war, caught between the cozy rural existence that shaped her manners and the blinding limelight that descended once her surname became a global headline. The conflict didn't crack plates or slam doors, yet it hung over the household like a storm cloud waiting to break. By the time low murmurs of divorce drifted through society lunches, most insiders already sensed something was dreadfully off. Fresh fractures spiderwebbed across her carefully varnished public facade, and we're about to reveal exactly how she tried, desperately, to hold everything together. Perfection has stalked Pippa Middleton since she could walk. Positioned between two high-achieving siblings, Kate's swan-like composure above and brother James's breezy entrepreneurship below, she felt comparisons pricking at her skin during every school recital, hockey match, and Sunday roast. The Middleton home overflowed with warmth, yet pulsed with ambition. Michael, the former flight dispatcher turned business whiz, and Carol, the indomitable ex-stewardess who masterminded party pieces, demanded impeccable report cards, firm handshakes, and smiles bright enough to dazzle cabin crews at 35,000 feet. So Pippa learned early that simply keeping pace wasn't enough. She needed to dazzle. At Edinburgh, she majored in English literature, but minored in networking. She captained sports clubs, chaired charity balls, curated black-tie dinners, and could memorize an entire guest list faster than a professor could mark papers. After graduation, she glided into luxury PR, elite event planning, and eye-wateringly expensive brand partnerships. Yet her breakout moment came not from a resume bullet, but from mass fascination. In 2008, London tabloids voted her Britain's top society singleton, confirming the public followed her moves more feverishly than many bona fide blue bloods. 4 short years later, Time magazine stunned establishment grandees by crowning her among the 100 most influential people in the world. That distinction wasn't courtesy of a royal warrant. It was pure magnetic appeal. People adored her relatable glamour and Cinderella narrative where grit trumped pedigree. Still, each milestone cast a longer Kate-shaped shadow. Headlines refused to mention Pippa without referencing the Duchess of Cambridge. Success forever felt like a borrowed tiara that needed swift return. That hunger to be recognized for her own achievements seeped right into her marriage. Away from cameras, she pleaded with husband James Matthews to share charity podiums, smile through gala flashbulbs, and sample the intoxicating applause that followed Kate and William everywhere. But James, raised on Highland silence, loathed the circus. To him, paparazzi clicks sounded like machine gun fire. He preferred Labradors, ledgers, and a crackling fireplace at Glen Affric. The harder Pippa leaned into visibility, the deeper James burrowed into privacy. Imagine dinner, she debriefing stylists for Vogue shoots. He studying commodity graphs. At home, she balanced toddlers, royal adjacency, and a social feed scrutinized by millions. He daydreamed about disused barns far from Wi-Fi. Inevitable pressure built until something precious snapped. Her inner calm. She had buffed every surface of her life until it mirrored perfection back at spectators, leaving zero space to breathe. When cracks appeared, they were chillingly silent. Dark circles under eyes, a cardigan pulled tight, an aversion to front rows. Wardrobe analysts noticed first. Kaleidoscopic prints faded into oatmeal tones. Statement heels retired for loafers. Each outfit whispered, "Spare me the spotlight, just today." That subtle language shouted louder than any tabloid splash. Perfection, once her superpower, tightened like a vice. She realized the crisis wasn't just marital, it was existential. Who was Pippa without palace-adjacent dazzle? Who was she without James's steady silhouette in press photos? Who remained if she stopped curating the illusion and simply breathed? As these secret doubts thundered, she began staging small but electrifying rebellions. Hold tight, we're about to examine each move she made to pry open the gilded cage. First, James's vanishing act became impossible to ignore. No hand-in-hand dash through Fulham, no arm around her waist at fundraisers, no supportive nod during christenings he'd RSVP'd to months earlier. Paparazzi eventually bagged a jackpot, the couple on a luxury Caribbean retreat after months apart. Sun-bleached snapshots rocketed online, but viewers detected no chemistry, no shared gaze, no conspiratorial grin, just two bronze figures occupying the same panorama. As if the marriage weren't straining enough, a family subplot detonated. Enter Vogue Williams, TV presenter, podcast queen, and wife to James's brother Spencer. Vogue's mildly savage show lobbed remarks about manufactured aristocratic perfection, and listeners instantly decoded the target. The feud wasn't knives-out warfare, more velvet-gloved slaps, clipped compliments at weddings, eyebrow arch emojis on social posts. Royal watchers devoured every micro-expression. Insiders whispered Pippa felt betrayed, her composure tested by relatives who played dirty. Spencer and Vogue thrived on juicy headlines, relishing every trending spike. Pippa, who managed her brand like a Swiss watch, suddenly saw her narrative hijacked by someone else's sound bites. Meanwhile, James stayed silent, hoping storms blew over. Silence only amplified chaos, leaving Pippa marooned between protecting the Middleton image and salvaging a union evaporating each dawn. No official separation papers surfaced, yet action screamed. Pippa arrived solo at galas, her diamond ring conspicuously absent. Photographers captured James miles away at rural investment conferences. Side-by-side pictures that once flooded magazines were now rarer than royal selfies. What unfolded was a soft implosion, the kind where glass never shatters but foundations shift irrevocably. Years spent crafting Pippa the powerhouse collided with truth. Image can't prop up incompatible dreams forever. She remained a fiercely loving mother. Arthur's art projects, Grace's ballet buns, baby Rose's first steps protected behind privacy screens. She still championed mental health marathons, yet the aura that hijacked every lens dulled to a gentle glow. Observers finally admitted the obvious. Although no solicitor had inked paperwork, the marriage had expired backstage. Loyal fans insisted silence equaled dignified privacy, yet in Pippa's universe, silence roared louder than Westminster's bells. Through it all, she never cracked on camera. No teary tell-alls, no tweet storms. Only a serene withdrawal from society pages and a cautious pivot toward a still undefined personal rebirth. So while Fleet Street never splashed, divorce confirmed, the verdict etched itself in absent plus ones, minimalist clothing, and laughter softened into something kinder, braver, oddly relieved. Behind the scenes, she tried everything. Couples coaching over discreet Zoom sessions, mindfulness weekends in the Cotswolds, even a devices-free month to swap viral headlines for birdsong. Friends say she filled notebooks with gratitude lists. Praying affirmations might drown out the tabloids' noise. Yet each exercise hit the same wall. James equated publicity with panic, and Pippa's oxygen had always been engagement, and yes, the occasional flashbulb. Therapists called them two good souls doomed by incompatible instincts. One needed visibility to feel alive, the other needed invisibility to feel safe. Her diary from that season reportedly runs hundreds of pages, ink-stained confessions, mood charts, and scribbled sketches of future ventures bursting with color and triumph. Her circle tightened. Loyal confidants signed NDAs before brunch, while fair-weather acquaintances vanished as invites slowed. The woman who never needed a reservation suddenly found evenings wide open, a reminder that fame often rents friends by the hour. She used the quiet to rediscover buried passions, dawn cold water swims, piano scales, and nutrition courses she could quote like Shakespeare. If her marriage was sinking, self-growth would float. Public sightings became rare comets. One week she dazzled at a hospital gala in recycled emerald satin, the next she ducked cameras on Portobello Road, pram in hand, leggings void of labels. Each glimpse ignited debate. Was she signaling freedom or simply breathing? The royal press office, predictably mute on private matters, offered no guidance. Journalists invented theories. Some blamed James's austerity, others Pippa's hustle, still others the strain of 3 pregnancies under scrutiny. The vacuum-fed speculation and readers devoured every crumb. Through it all, she clung to dignity. In an era obsessed with oversharing, she chose strategic silence, forcing the world to acknowledge her humanity, not just the silhouette that launched 1,000 memes. That resilience now fuels her next act. Insiders whisper about a wellness imprint blending celebration with mental health advocacy, recipe boxes paired with journal prompts, party kits that prize mindfulness over monograms. She's also exploring a docuseries, not to cash in on scandal, but to control the narrative and show how a spare sibling can rewrite her story without palace backing. Whatever dawn waits, one certainty stands. Pippa Middleton will face it with the same steely grace that steered her through paparazzi frenzies, sibling comparisons, and the slow fade of a marriage once scripted as a fairy tale. Thank you for staying with us. Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping royal revelations, and don't miss the next video queued up on your screen.